Hi YouTube, I'm JoshStrifeHayes and this is going to be a video guide to Epic Cragmire Crypts or Cragmire Crypts Master. We have a party with 3 DPS, a tank and a healer, so let's queue up and get straight to it. I'm going to be talking through all the mechanics in this dungeon as we get to them. Cragmire Crypts has a difficult last boss, so we're going to really take our time on that. I'm going to explain everything I'm doing as I do it. If you have any questions about this dungeon or this guide, you can find me on Twitch under JoshStrifeHayes. Now as soon as we arrive, run straight forward and deal with this room full of adds. Don't run in by yourself. Cragmire Crypts can do some serious damage, even to a medium geared tank or a low geared DPS. We're going to run straight in and deal with everything as a team. Now this guide will not show you all of the hidden secrets and Easter eggs within Cragmire Crypts. It will simply show you how to get to the end treasure chest as fast as possible. I will do another more detailed guide, but this is simply running the dungeon through. When we go through that door, you're going to take out all of these adds. The death pledged there can be a problem to lower geared teams, so focus as a team on them. Once you've killed the death pledge, you're going to run over here and you will see a magic brazier. Press F and light this. Once this is lit, carry on through the dungeon. You're going to bump into a hexer. A hexer can be quite powerful and it can really give lower geared teams a run for their money. Thankfully the team I've got with me is going to make light work of her. We carry on through and then turn left. Standing at the top there is a Bandit Officer. Now on the floor you'll notice a spike trap just there. Thankfully I've got VIP, so I'm not going to take any injuries, but if you don't have VIP, you're going to pick up a lot of injuries in this dungeon if you don't watch where you're going. Watch out for traps coming out of the walls and on the floor. This is a heavily trapped dungeon, and you're going to take a lot of injuries and get through a lot of injury kits if you don't pay attention to where you're walking. There's another one just there I walked onto. Push our way down the steps and open the first door. In the first room, I'm going to be attacked by zombies all around me, and as I run forward, more are eventually going to spawn over here. See them all getting out the ground. What I want to do is light that second magic brazier just there. But I'm going to take out the Deathlock White first of all. The things with the most health here are the zombie hulks. So get everyone together and DPS those down as a team. Once I'm out of combat, I should be able to press F to light that, and then we carry on and return back. We've lit this second one, we turn around and go back. As we go back, loads of zombies are going to spawn out the floor. It's nothing different to what you've killed before, so simply DPS them down. You walk back through the door, you'll see another hexer has spawned. You've dealt with one before, deal with this the same way. Once you've killed her, return up the steps, avoiding the spike traps on the floor, and then you're going to turn right, going back the same way that we went into this dungeon. This time, however, because we've lit both of those magic fires, we can turn right, light the third one, and that's going to get rid of this magic seal just here. Behind the seal, hexers and a few bandits. The huntsmen can be problems if you don't take them down, especially for people with lower health or lower armor. Once this room is clear, carry on. Use the switch on the side, open this gate and head down. If you have any questions about this guide, you can find me on Twitch under JoshStrifeHayes. When we run into this room, the whole center of the room is trapped. You can see all these traps here. I'm going to activate them so you can see how many there are. There are 6 traps on the floor and loads and loads and loads of enemies. So try and run around the side to not activate all of those traps. Now you can turn right and run to the bonfire over here, but once you've activated the bonfire, back into the main room, carry on around the left. This room is full of medium difficulty adds, so break them down into small groups and take them down 2 or 3 enemies at a time. Turn right, head into the main room, and you'll see some bandit cutthroats waiting for us. We're going to pull them all into one big group and use all of our AoE to take them down nice and quickly. The bandit enforcer that's just spawned is pretty strong, so focus him if you need to. And once we've got through a few more, ads will spawn over here, especially this next hexer. And when the room is clear, run up to the door and press F. Carrying on through the door, we're going to see a few mobs. Nothing you haven't dealt with before. You should be absolutely fine carrying through this corridor. In this room, you're going to get ambushed. Run straight forward, DPS everything you can. You'll see around the edge of the room a load of bandit cutthroats are waiting for you. I'm going to aggro all of them, and there's even an invisible wall here. Now there's a chest in the center of this room. We can check whether it's a mimic by aiming at it. If our aiming receptacle changes and there is a loot icon, it's a real chest and we can open it. If it does not change and it remains a circular aiming receptacle, it's a mimic. We're going to aim at it. You'll see there is a loot icon. We're going to attempt to open it. It's a real chest. We carry on. There's a ghost there you can talk to for some lore when you're actually doing this dungeon as part of the main game story quest. Another trap on the floor just there. I'll activate it so you can see where it is. Come in here, turn right, and then turn left. There are some invisible walls you're walking through. 2 battle whites will greet you over here. There's no mechanics specifically to talk about with these fights. It's simply DPSing down regular enemies. We're going to carry on down the steps. You'll see those 2 slots on the floor. They're both blade traps. If I walk over them, you'll see it jump up. We're now getting into a deeper part of the dungeon, so some spider enemies are going to appear. You'll notice all the cobwebs on the wall. Of course, preceding some blade spiders. This is quite a long dungeon. Spiders, as usual, can web the floor, reducing your movement, but it shouldn't be an issue if your team all work together. Turn left, activate this lever on the wall. Now this is where the dungeon can get quite confusing. It's a bit of a maze style layout, so I'm going to explain as we go. This is going to give us the first mini-boss, Kalos Tam. Kalos Tam can do high single target damage himself, he can do some AoE damage, but his main issue is summoning ads. As soon as we attack him, he's going to raise an undead army around him to come and help. Deal with these guys the same way you deal with every ad, by pulling them into a group and DPSing them. Thankfully all the ads are spawned quite close to Kalos Tam, so it suits my playstyle exactly. I can just keep doing all of my AoE damage and it hits the ads without me even specifically trying to hit them. If you let all the ads get on top of one player, especially a player without much armor or health, he's probably going to die. So keep these together, work as a team, and take them down. Once you've killed Kalos Tam, as usual, check for a drop. I've been lucky enough to get one, so I'm going to pick up the ward necklace and carry on. There is a treasure chest just here. We can tell that it is a real treasure chest because the loot icon appears, although I'm full, so I'm not going to loot it. Activate the door to travel to the lower level of the dungeon and carry on. You'll see another bonfire to your left. Run straight down the stairs. In this room is a Deathlock White waiting for you on the left. And a few archers in the centre of the room, just giving you a little bit of trouble with their DPS. They don't hit much themselves, but in a large group they can be a problem. When this room is clear, carry on. As soon as you run down here, enemies are going to spawn right where I'm standing now. As we run forward, they'll pop up and appear. I knew that was going to happen, so I was ready with some AoE attacks to take them down quickly. This is where the dungeon can become quite dangerous. This room has soldiers and archers. As we move forward, you'll see a Battle White Commander jump out of this sarcophagus. Battle White Commanders are probably going to be the hardest thing you've faced in the dungeon so far. Pushing through this room might take you a while if you're a lower DPS group, but keep going and don't give up. We're now about to take on the second mini-boss, which I personally really like as a mini-boss. I think it's a fun thing to do, this one. This is a competing adventure party, which means they've got their own DPS, they've got their own healers, and they've got their own tanks. Ideally, you need to take them down healer first, then DPS, leaving the tank until last. Unfortunately, the fight can sometimes devolve into a massive mess. So we're going to run in, try and AoE and aggro all of them into one small space, and then kill them. The tank's going to go first, grab all the aggro, and then we're going to run in. This is our team versus their team. And especially if you're a lower leveled or a lower geared team, this is going to be your first real test, and it's going to be tough. So run in, aggro, make sure you're dodging, using whatever potions you have, work as a team. It's very difficult to add any kind of tactics to this fight because it can devolve into such a mess. Ideally, you want to keep going, take their healer down first, and then take all the rest of them down. If you don't do this as easily as we're making it look, don't worry. We've done this a lot. The thing with this fight is when there's 5 of them, it's really hard. But as soon as you kill the first one of them, it's going to get so much easier. 5 against 5 is fair. You want to make it unfair in your advantage. 5 against 4, 5 against 3, 5 against 2, and eventually you want to take down the last of them. Once you've dealt with this competing adventure party, you're going to take a left from where you entered and go down the stairs. Inside this room, you'll find a few more adds and mobs. It's nothing compared to what you've just taken on. So killing these guys will feel like a walk in the park after what you've just gone through. Those death pledge that I'm taking on now can jump about from player to player. So keeping them in one place and then taking advantage of them staying still with all the DPS I can is what I'm going to focus on. When they're done, we carry on. You can see that I wasn't kidding when I said this was a long dungeon. Now this is where it can get a bit maze-like. We come through here and turn right. At the bottom here, we're going to spawn some phase spiders. They're going to pop into existence. Lower DPS groups will struggle with this. Try and focus one. You'll see another phase spider at the top of the stairs over there, but I'm going to keep attacking this one till this one's dead. Ideally, I only want to fight one at a time. When both the phase spiders are dead, you've got to follow some pretty weird instructions now to carry on. There are 2 levers, one either side. Activate both these levers and both the portcullises will raise. Carry on down. Keep going down the steps. You'll see the Barrow Guardian and a few mid-difficulty mobs. Once you've taken down the mid-difficulty mobs, turn left from here and you'll see a floating skull. It says press F to activate the Shadow Gate. I'm going to do that. The wall to the side of me will be pulled away and a teleportation portal will appear. I'm going to turn and walk straight forward through it. I'll appear in a slightly different shadow version of this dungeon. Carry on forward and go left. See these skeletons and these guardians and these ghosts? These are easy. The danger here is the spike pit. The spike pit is instant death if you fall into it. So don't. activate the skull on the side, which is going to send the bridge across. When the bridge is all the way across, run across and carry on. Again, look at the floor. Traps everywhere. This dungeon is covered in traps. Unless you have VIP and therefore don't get injuries, you're going to want to bring some injury kits with you, because you will get one or two. Nothing specifically difficult about this mob fight, just lots of them. We're going to walk up the steps, and then we're going to turn left, following the sparkly path. You'll notice this is where we were before, except this time the large magical shield has gone. We can carry on straight down, and we're nearly at the boss. Something's going to pop out of that sarcophagus just there. Now that blazing skeleton can throw some pretty heavy DPS at me from a distance. So my whole team is going to jump on it. As we walk through this, you'll see another sarcophagus pop open with a zombie Hulk. Those things have a lot of health, especially for a lower DPS group. It's going to take you a minute or two to take it down. Once these guys are dealt with, we're pretty near the final boss. We carry on down the steps and open almost the last door. This room is an ambush. As we run forward, you'll see bandits pop out from behind that wooden barricade and attack all at once. Thankfully, bandits have low health and fall quite quickly to the AoE damage that I can throw at them. Once you've cleared, carry on. There'll be one more bridge over a spike pit, and then we are at the final boss. Now this guy is tough. I'm actually going to change some of my powers around to deal with this guy. Even though I have a very, very good team behind me, and I think that I'm quite good as a hunter ranger myself, I'm going to change around a few of my attacks specifically to take him down. Now the mechanics that appear in this fight are going to be: Black Dagger himself is the main target. We want to do as much DPS to him as possible and take him down. He is dangerous and can do a lot of damage to whoever is standing in front of him. He's also got a few AoE attacks where he throws around bombs. The bombs will leave a large circle of fire on the floor, and the fire will stay there. It does a lot of damage if you stand in it, so you want to avoid it. The problem is he keeps throwing these bombs, and the fire keeps adding up and up and up. When the room gets too full of fire, head to the end of the room and activate the water barrel. The water barrel will put all the fire in the room out. The catch with this is, when you activate the water barrel, you make Black Dagger angry, he will dart around the room and hit everyone. It's a very, very dangerous attack, so you have to weigh up. Do you want to get rid of all the fire, but also risk being hit hard by Black Dagger, or do you want to carry on fighting around the fire? On top of this, he's going to summon adds throughout the whole fight. Some of these are archers, and some of them are hexers, like we've taken on previously in the dungeon. There's a lot going on in this fight, and we have to try and deal with all of it. The tank's going to want to keep Black Dagger's attention. The DPS is going to want to kill all the adds the moment they spawn, and everyone is going to want to focus on the floor to make sure the fire doesn't completely control the arena. Remember, it's a boss, so we want to be in control of the arena. We're just going to wait for Elvis to step into the circle, and then we're going to give it a go. As soon as we move in, the tank is going to run forward, grab the aggro. I'm going to run forward and do as much damage as I can to Black Dagger up until the adds spawn. Then I'm going to switch my focus and deal with them. See that circle there? That fire? That's going to stay there until we use the water barrel at the back. I'm not going to talk as much during this fight because I've got to focus and concentrate. Even for a medium to high geared team, Black Dagger can kill you if you don't pay attention. I'm waiting for the adds to spawn in the room, and then I can switch and focus on them. There's a few cutthroats. They're not a problem by themselves, but there's about to be a lot of them if I don't get on them. There are already 2 circles of fire in this arena. Black Dagger has that lovely slash attack where he hits in front of him multiple times. Stand behind him and you're fine. Just don't be in front of him when that happens. You'll see some snipers have been spawned. These guys have low health but high damage, so prioritize them. It won't take you long to kill them, but it will be a problem if you let them live. The issue you can see we're having is that Black Dagger is standing in the fire. It doesn't affect him, but it's going to hurt us. We don't want to go there. I'm taking down all the cutthroats as fast as I possibly can. We've got an excellent tank and a very, very good healer, who are making this quite easy for us. Also, remember those death pledges we took on earlier? The ones that can dart around from player to player? They're in the arena as well. We're slowly starting to fill up with fire. It's not becoming a problem yet though, because we can fight him over in this area. There's no fire over here. Now useful for me is lots of the ads are running up to Black Dagger himself, so all of my AoE attacks are also affecting them. The tank is keeping Black Dagger's attention, and we are DPSing him down, controlling the ads as and when they spawn. There's more cutthroats. There's a sniper over there that I'm going to switch my priority to and try and kill. It doesn't have much health, but it can put out a lot of damage if I don't deal with it. Now is when the fire starts to become a problem. You'll notice that we haven't got much space left to fight in, and the whole team has been pushed back to this corner. As soon as he throws another bomb, we're probably going to go and have to use the water. There's another bomb. We've now run out of anywhere to really fight him. I'm going to run over, avoiding as much as I possibly can. Ah, see, Donna's already used the water. The fire is gone, and Black Dagger darts around the room, hitting everyone for high damage. The more you use the water, the higher he will hit you every time. This is not an easy fight. We want to DPS him down as fast as we can to prevent any more fire, because I don't want to use that barrel again. I think if we carry on doing what we're doing, we seem to be on the right track. I'm going to switch and go and kill this sniper. The first circular fire is out already. If you don't do this first time, don't despair. Most people don't. It's not designed to be an easy fight. The team are doing a great job of taking down all of the ads quickly. If we hadn't have been focusing on the ads, they would have really overpowered us. This is where it gets dangerous. As Black Dagger gets to less health, the ads he summons gets more and more powerful. You'll see we're now taking on a Hexer. We didn't have any of those before. I can't keep standing next to that Hexer because he threw a bomb at me and the fire is now around her, which is annoying because most of my melee attacks are some of my hardest hitting ones. Controlling the arena is the key to killing almost any boss, and with Black Dagger that's exceptionally difficult because he controls the arena. That is why this boss is so hard and why so many people struggle with it. I've got just about enough room to hit and kill the Hexer without standing in the fire. You'll see if I stand in the fire, even with some decent lifesteal and recovery, and regeneration and a healer, my health's going to go down very, very quickly. We're going to have to use the barrel again now. There's no way we can fight him. We don't have enough room. I'm going to activate it, get rid of the fire, but I'm also ready to dodge. I'm dodging as many times as I can to not be hit. This has given us the arena back. This should be the last one we need to take him down. You can see that he's pretty low on health, so I'm going to switch my attention away from the ads and do pure DPS onto Black Dagger. I want to get him down before he starts throwing any more bombs. If it looks chaotic, just focus on what you need to do, whether it's take down the ads, harm Black Dagger, or use the barrel to get rid of the fire. A lot goes on in this fight, and it's much simpler if you just decide what you're going to do and stick with it. Now when Black Dagger dies, the ads don't, so keep the fight going. Take those guys down. Don't celebrate just yet. But once all the ads are down, the arena is clear, you've taken him out. Well done. Run over and claim your prize from the treasure chest that's near the barrel. It's going to give you a pair of boots and some seals. This is not an easy dungeon. If you die first time, keep going. Black Dagger's hard to take down. If you have any questions, you can normally find me on Twitch under JoshStrifeHayes. Now good luck, go and kill Black Dagger.